This poster concerns an IC2 autoantibody, which is supposed to be specific to the pancreatic beta cells. Back in the 80s, we found out that there was a small proportion of leukocytes which also reacted with this autoantibody. And in this study, we have further analyzed this observation to see what kind of leukocytes in the pancreas, thymus, and spleen in the NOD mice this antibody reacted with. So the background is that a monoclonal antibody from a diabetic rat called IC2 is highly specific to the pancreatic beta cells. But a small population of thymocytes also seems to react with this antibody, and this is here studied further. Starting with two transgenic cell lines which are not from the pancreas, so they have nothing to do with beta cells, but they are transfected with CD1D molecule, cell surface molecule, and both of these transfected cell lines seems to have affinity to IC2. This could indicate that the target for IC2 is nothing specific for the beta cell, but has to do with the CD1D expression on cells. When we take out the spleen, the thymus, and the pancreas, we can make a suspension of cells, and here we can see how we separate the cells. With insulin staining, we can look on the beta cells, and with CD45 cells, a marker for leukocytes, we can explicitly look on the leukocytes. After doing this, we do a so-called multicolor flow cytometric phenotyping, which help us to identify what kind of leukocytes we are looking on. And the results come up in this table here, and as you can see, that it is mainly macrophages, dendritic cells, so-called antigen-presenting cells, which express the CD1D and also at the same time show IC2 binding. So the conclusion is that CD1D is the target together with an unknown glycolipid for the monoclonal antibody. We can, however, still say that the IC2 antibody is very, very strongly binding to the beta cells with an intensity of 1,592 in intensity strength. And the leukocytes, which also bind to the antibody, is very, very low in intensity. So there is a factor of 100 weaker fluorescence on the leukocytes. So from the point of view of quantifying the signal, then the binding to the beta cell is still very, very strong compared to the leukocyte binding. This antibody has been used in vivo for imaging the beta cell, and most people believe it is specific for the beta cell exclusively, but this poster actually shows that behind that there is a weak binding to selective type of leukocytes, especially antigen-presenting cell macrophages and dendritic cells. Thank you very much for your attention.